Good morning, everybody. Welcome. My name is Niku, and we're going to be doing some training today. We are almost an hour into the UK session. It's the start of the day. The day is long still. We've got lots of trading time, and it's time, I think, for the daily video. We're going to be doing some trading on. I'll be trading on my live account, and we're going to be using three strategies. First one being divergence. We're going to use all four kinds of divergence to determine to find entries. We're going to be using the ADX, and we're going to be using my RSI strategy that we play off the middle line. As we go along, I will explain to you guys what I have on my chart. I will explain to you guys how every trade that I take, what we're looking for. I'll show you guys how to spot potential setups before they happen so you can be ready and not be caught off guard. And yeah, I think that's it. Okay, guys, we're going to head over to the platform. There we go. On my chart, I've got three moving averages. These are 50, 100, and 200 moving averages. They're simple averages. And I'm using these as a combination of two ways. One will be to get an idea of where price is going. Secondly, I'm using them as dynamic support and resistance areas. So while price is moving above, these will count as support for me, and when price comes down through them and moving below, they will count as resistance. As you guys can see, this price keeps getting rejected off this 100 moving average here. We actually do have some divergence setting up. I'm just going to wait for this to turn, but this is definitely hidden divergence. Hidden divergence gives us a continuation, shows us a continuation. I missed this trade now. And since price is moving downwards, hidden bullish divergence like this will signal that price will likely continue downwards. And the fact that this has coincided with price being rejected on a moving average, on this actually confirmed that this should have been an entry for me. I missed this now. That's all right. We'll carry on. Secondly, I've got the ADX. If you guys don't quite understand the ADX, I suggest you go online, maybe go to Baby Pips or Investopedia, and just do a search for ADX. By the way, you can do this for divergence as well. You can do a search for divergence. Baby Pips has some really nice explanations with some examples of divergence setups and all the different kinds, but also the ADX. It's super important that you understand and really understand what your indicators that you are using shows you. If you don't really understand or don't 100% understand, you're not gonna be able to utilize the indicator successfully. A small example that I always use: a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people, new traders, try to do oversold, overbought levels, especially on the stochastic, and they don't understand what the stochastic is showing you, and they also don't understand that the stochastic was developed as a continuation indicator, not a reversal. So the correct way to use the stochastic, for example, is when it does go into overbought levels, this signals a continuation instead of a reversal. And a lot of people do the opposite of this. So it's really, really crucial that you understand what everything shows you. I get that people, a lot of people struggle with math. Not many people are math inclined, but you do need to go look at how the values are calculated for each indicator that you end up using, so that you understand what it shows you. Right, so you cannot interpret data that you don't understand, and that's basically what we're doing. We've got indicators on our charts, and it's giving us data back, and we have to interpret that data to determine entry points for our trades. Okay, so yes, we've got the ADX. Where was I? We've got the stochastic oscillator, and I've got the RSI. These are both on default values. So yeah, the stochastic and the oscillator I use to find divergence, and I also use the RSI for the 50, the middle line of the RSI. If price is moving in an upwards direction, um, and this trend is very strong, I will look for the RSI will usually be above the 50 line, like this. This is not a good entry, but just to give an example. So when price does a little correction while we're moving upwards, I'll look for, if it's on or near support, I will look for bounces off the 50 line here, and then take a trade uh, in in the direction of the current trend. So it will be bounces if the price is going up, and it will be rejections of the middle line while price is moving downwards in a strong trend. So we're not really trending here. This is basically sideways movement, which is why I didn't take this trade here. Let's see if we can find a recent example. I'm just going to disable the auto scroll. See if we can find a decent example. This is kinda. We had a direction change here. The ADX was coming up strong. It was still with my DI plus. The DI shows you the direction of the movement of the trend, and we had a upwards movement and a fairly strong ADX. We had the stochastic running at the top here. It also formed, coincidentally, it formed some hidden. No, this wasn't divergence. What am I talking about? Anyway, so we had a strong upwards movement, and when price rejected here, and it basically just dipped below the middle line and continued upwards, and that was a buy position to buy entry there. And we can also see, like, here was a good trade while price is moving. It's always almost on the middle line. So when it turns back and it did reject off the moving averages, we can get in and take a trade there. You don't necessarily have to take it on there. You can actually wait for it to turn a bit, like we did here, and come back down. Even if you entered on this candle for 1 minute, it would have been a good trade. Same with this area here. We had the price hitting there, and if you got in here, would have been a good trade. But we'll see if we can find a few of those while the market is going. Historical, if you scroll back on the chart and you look at the historical data, it's super easy to spot the trades, but it's a lot more difficult to spot them while they're happening. And this is the reason I'm making these videos. A lot of people have actually decent strategies, but they don't know how to execute them at all. A lot of people think if they're not taking trades for 10 minutes, they're doing something wrong, and it is in fact quite the opposite. We need to be patient. We need to wait for our strategy to give us entries. And sometimes that will be an entry every 5 minutes. Sometimes it will be one an hour. We never know. We never know what the market's going to be like. You don't know if it's going to be a good day or a bad day. Some days you might not even get entries. It happens. But with these three strategies combined, I get about an entry every 10 minutes. So ideally, we're 10 minutes in, and I missed the trade already. But ideally, this would be we would do, because these videos are going to be about an hour long, and we should get about 6 trades, 5 to 6 trades. We should get depending on the length, but like I said, it's averaging about one every 10 minutes. So this is on a 10-minute chart. If you're trading a 1-minute chart, you can maybe look at 1 per hour, 2 per hour maybe, because there's the candles take a lot. It takes a lot more time for the setups to form. By the way, all these three strategies that I'm using, divergence you can use on any time frame. You can use it on a forex chart on a 4-hour time frame, for example. Obviously, it'll take you much longer to get entries, but you can still use the exact same concept, whether it's a 10-second chart, 5-minute chart, 1 hour, 4 hour daily chart. You can still, divergence works across the board. The ADX strategy as well, you can use this on 1 minute if you're more comfortable trading 1 minute charts with 5-minute expiries. Maybe you can do that. The RSI strat, same thing. We can use this on multiple time frames. I just like to use it on 10 seconds because I do 1-minute trades, and I get more entries on a 10-second chart than I do on a 1-minute chart. So yeah, you can use it on all, whatever you're comfortable with. You can use, if you want to try out these strategies, you can use them on any time frame. So yes, I think that's enough talking. Let's look for some trades. We've got very nice payouts at the moment. So yeah, while we're looking for trades, this was not quite a divergence setup, because price made a higher high, as did this oscillator. So this was not a good trade. While we're waiting, those of you that's known me for a long time, you guys will notice that I'm trading on a new platform. I switched to pocket option a while ago. Few reasons, but two main reasons that main reasons causing me to switch is, first of all, the expiry time. If I'm doing a 1-minute trade, this will be 1 minute from the time I enter my trade. So my trades are always exactly 1 minute. No 30-second trades or 35, or no minute and 20-second trades and whatnot. And that makes a difference, because divergence, for example, which is one of the strategies that gives me the most entries, divergence will give me, or needs a few candles to play out. But quite often you will get a divergence entry, and we're getting a spike, DI spike here. What's the value? 40. Let's see if it comes up a little bit more, and the ADX spikes, the DI also comes up a little bit more. This looks like it might be a sell trade for us. Where did it end? 42. Too late. Why am I missing all my entries today? Where was I? Oh, the second thing is that my trade executions are instant. Other brokers have always told me that my internet is the problem, and turns out it's not. So on a 10-second chart, a 1 second or 2 second delay on entry makes a massive difference, because we do get these big candles, and quite often, if I or in the past, I used to, quite often I would, for example, take a buy here on a candle like this. I take the buy, but my entry registers way at the top of the candle because there's a bit of delay, and then price ends, my trade ends up closing somewhere there below my entry, but it would have been a good trade if I did not have my delay. So that's the two main reasons that I switched to pocket option. They also got some nice stuff. They've got a marketplace. You earn gems when you trade, and those can be traded for cashback. These guys also have a deposit bonus. So if you do a deposit, you get a bonus. If you watch the live streams, we always have promo codes during the live stream. The last one we had, I think, was a 70% deposit bonus if you used it. So yeah, these guys the platform is good. It's instant. So that's the thing that affected my trading a lot. The delays was a huge issue for me, and I really prefer the fact that I get 1 minute expiry always from the time that I take my trade. If you guys want to test them out, I'll leave a link in the description. Open a demo account, play around a bit, see how it feels. If you like it, great. If you don't, well, not for you. But definitely my broker of choice at the moment. Okay, let's see if we do get some trades. Let's take this away. We do need some entries. I've missed 2 now, which sucks. So I'm going to talk a bit less, trade a bit more. Let's see if we can find something. Okay, so the ADX is showing us that the downwards move we had, which was quite strong, is slowing down a lot. So we are basically going into sideways area now. What's the value of the ADX? Is like 11, 12. So we are definitely not going to be looking for at all at the RSI at the moment for the RSI strategy, because that we only apply that in a in a strong trending market. We can look for some divergence, and the other thing we can look for are the ADX spikes. But until the trend starts picking up again properly, we're not gonna look for RSI trades. Yeah, this level is really holding. Let's draw that in. Let's go for that. So we've got a very strong support level here. So now we're going to see if this actually breaks or if this holds. The 50 moving average is turning upwards just the slightest. 10 after 100 looks like it's going to start leveling out quite soon. So this looks like it might just be a retest. Let's switch to a 1 minute chart quick and just see what's happening. Okay, so this looks like a correction on the 1 minute. It's holding in this area, and this is probably going to continue upwards. Going to go back to 10 seconds and see if we can find some entries. Okay, we have some bearish divergence here, normal bearish, but the stochastic needs to turn down first. So we're going to wait for it. Let's just see, because I suspect we might go test this 200 line here. But I'm going to wait for the stochastic to turn properly. It's very close, though. I'm going to skip this one. It's way too close to to really qualify as divergence, and it's basically level, all the same values. It's actually, oh no, it's pushing back, pushing past. Okay, so it's definitely not divergence. This is why I wait for the oscillator to cross. This is kind of my entry signal, or the confirmation that I can take my entry. And if it's not a clean move, most of the time I'll avoid it, unless it's really good divergence. Okay, so we've got the ADX showing us that we're in an upward trend. The ADX itself is busy climbing. So what I'm gonna, I can start looking, unless we get big movement down now, I can start looking for buy entries on the RSI as well. But it doesn't mean, it depends on what the candles are going to look like. But let's see. This is very faint divergence. Very faint. Valid but faint. Okay, so we did have some bullish, bearish divergence here on both the RSI and the stochastic, but it was very faint and it's very, very close to, the peaks are very close to each other. So I'm, again, not comfortable if it's not a really good setup. And if you're not comfortable with the setup, just let it go. Don't skip a trade if you don't like the way it looks. Just wait for the next one. There are so many trades during the day, so many opportunities that it's really not necessary to risk entries on setups that looks incomplete or that you're not comfortable with. But we'll definitely find a few trades. Again, some bearish divergence, but because my moving averages is busy crossing, I'm going to look for, my ADX is also climbing. So it's showing me that the strength, it's still climbing from this area here. So it's showing me that the strength is that the trend is strengthening. I'm going to instead try to go with the trend, and I might have taken this a bit too early. Should have maybe waited for it to reach here. Let's see what happens. But I'm going to go with the direction of price movement, and because this is a valid entry for me according to, for my strategy, and that's all that we're going to do. We're going to take entries, valid entries that our strategy gives us. This one I'm quite comfortable with. It should pop up. If it doesn't, it's okay. We do lose some trades, but most importantly, we win more than we lose. We've got 15 seconds left. It looks like I did enter too early. We also have hidden bullish divergence. There we go, good trade. But this candle avoided it. So as long as price doesn't go below this area here and my oscillator turns upwards, this will be hidden bullish divergence, which is a continuation, and so it signals that it's possible that since we're in an upward trend, it's possible that price might continue upwards. But I'm just going to give it a bit. The K line here has been way too jittery, so I'm going to skip on this. I really don't like it if it's jumping around like this. I really don't like it, so I like it to be smooth like this, like it's moving here. Those are the setups that I look for most of the time. When it's jumping like this, it's, I suppose you can say it's a fight between the bull and the bears at that moment. So you're gonna get big red candles, big green candles, big green, big red, big green, big red, and price is gonna be very indecisive. So I'm gonna avoid these situations, because if price is really volatile, I'll take divergence trades if it's, I don't know, it's spaced a bit, and if it's in a strong move or But when it's really volatile like this, jumping around, just stay out, and might be a buy trade here. My ADX is slowing down. We're not really moving upwards at the moment either. This level is holding. Let's throw that in because these two seem to be actually fairly strong levels. So for the moment, it appears that price is caught in this channel here. Let's see. I would love if this thing actually just picks a direction. Okay, so this is not valid anymore. We're gone. Okay, so now we can definitely look for buy trades. Oh, don't tell me you're coming down again. It's a very, very strong level, it seems. This area here. Okay. So sometimes, like I said, sometimes the market will give you a lot of entries, and sometimes this happens. And we just wait. We just wait. I'm not going to play this RSI here on the middle line because my ADX is slowing down. It's showing me that the move is weakening. We're not really in an uptrend. This area here is mostly sideways movement, so it's not an upward uptrend. And I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to risk taking a trade here. And you know, one thing to watch out for though is that quite often this will happen, and people will say, "Yeah, but I could have taken this because I could have taken the risk because look, it would have won." Yes, it does happen sometimes that you leave a trade, and it actually is a good trade, but this was not valid for my strategy. So it was not a valid entry for my strategy rules. My strategy rules did not allow me to take that trade. So I don't take the trade. The reason we have a strategy, there's a reason we have a strategy. We need to know, we know what is, after extensive testing and research, we kind of get an idea of something that's happening, something that works more than it doesn't. And we implement that into our trading. So our strategy, if you start breaking the rules of your strategy, small break here, I'm just going to do this once. Next thing you know, you're breaking your strategy rules all the time. Your trading is going backwards. You don't understand why you're losing money because for you, it's only a small little rule that I broke and whatnot. But it's a bad idea. You develop your strategy, or you see a strategy that someone else is using, like the strategies I'm using here. I have my set of rules and I don't break them. I must have the discipline to stick to my strategy, no matter what I think. Sometimes I would, quite often I will look at the chart and I think this is going to drop now, and it does. And then I think to myself, damn, I should have taken this. Could I not have? Should I not have taken an entry? And then we tend to remember the positive outcomes. Right, so you'll look at a chart and you'll think, okay, fine, I think this is going to happen now, and it does. And then you think for the next 5 times, you think that something's going to happen, and it does not. But the next time you're looking and you're just thinking, oh, I think this is going to happen, and it does, you're going to remember, wait, every time I think this, I'm right. We tend to forget the negative results, and the positive gets reinforced because we get the dopamine hit on the positive results. So we remember that more vividly. So over time, you're gonna start thinking, but I can predict the market, and it's the biggest mistake you can make. We can't predict the market. Nobody can predict the market. Anybody claiming to predict the market is talking out of their asses. Period. we cannot. If it was possible, we could take 5 trades um, for whatever amount in a 10-minute period and be done for the day and go live our lives. But we cannot predict. We can only form strategies where certain setups have high probabilities of winning, and that's what we got to look for. But we need to stick to our rules. We can't break those rules because it's close or because for whatever reason. Don't break your rules. Your strategy, or stick to your strategy. Stick to the rules that you've set up, because you know they work, because you did the research, you did the testing, you know it works. This is some bearish divergence technically. I've missed it. So this should play out beautifully because my stochastic is smooth. It's not jittery like it was here. In that area there, it's nice and smooth. That tells me the market is flowing. It's we've got the volatility, but it's not excessive. We just have normal price movement, and I can know that my entries will have a higher probability of winning. So if I entered on that red candle there, anywhere on that red candle, the next candle with this current candle will determine if it would have been a win or a loss. So if this anywhere here closes below this, it's a good trade, and it looks like it did. This would have been a really good trade. Even if I was late and I got in here on this candle, it would have closed somewhere here now. Still would have been a good trade. At worst, break even if you got in at the very bottom, because my stochastic is flowing. It's not jumping around. It's not jittering. We've got nice solid movement. Man, I should have taken a buy here as well. Still have time to take the buy. Let's give my ADX a second here. See if the DI spikes a bit more. It's 10:15. There's no data out now. Okay, so this has definitely turned, and we're gonna look, wait and see what happens before we start making any or get any trading ideas. ADX is starting to climb again, while my DI is moving upwards quite quickly. It tells me there's strength behind this movement. So taking buy trades here is very risky. Might push up to this area now, but this is moving downwards for sure. So let's see what happens. Big move, and it's flatlining. So if this candle stopped here on the 200 moving average while I had a nice spike like this, I would have taken a buy trade. But the fact that it actually just broke through completely caused me to stay out of it. So this might just be a little retest of the 200, and it might continue down. We could look for DI spikes or divergence forming in this area here. What if above the support line? Let's extend this a bit. So if we do get some divergence here, bullish would be a trade for me. Or if I because price is resting a bit now, my DI is going to come down. If price doesn't spike up or down, my DI will basically like almost flatline, and then if we do get another spike, DI minus spike, the red is the DI minus. If we do get another big spike here, and it hits on or just above this area, it could be worth taking a buy trade. Until then, unless I've got clear divergence, there will not be a trade at right now. So my ADX is, my DI is coming up, but it's not spiking up. It's just trickling upwards slowly. So it's not a trade. Well, the plan that the scenario that I had that might play out is definitely not playing out. So I'm gonna forget about that trade. I'm just gonna look for something new. If price hangs down, if it doesn't break through this 200, it's going to be forming hidden bearish divergence, and it's coinciding with the RSI hitting the middle line. Just need to wait for it to confirm, because it could spike upwards any second as well. So we're going to wait and see if it goes up or down. It's going down. Let's get in. I would have liked to get in a bit higher though, but it is what it is. Also, the confirmation is not closing properly. But there we go. Let's see if this continues. Got 40 seconds left on that trade. I would stop worrying if it clears this area. And it didn't. I would love to see it like it close just below this area, this value here. So close below 600 would be ideal. Five seconds left. Let's see what happens. Break even trade. Would have been good if I got in a little bit higher, but I did not. So we'll look for the next trade. Where are we? 37 minutes, and we've done, I think I've done 2 and missed 2. It's 10 minutes, one trade every 10 minutes, more or less, average. Roughly, and now you drop. I hate when this happens. It happens, but I hate when it happens. It's part of life, it's part of trading. Doesn't mean I have to like it, I just need to accept it. Okay, so we are definitely moving in a downwards direction. ADX is coming up really hard now. Telling me this trend is accelerating. So, but the fact that it keeps pushing up, we've got all these small candles here. I don't like those. So even though my ADX is strengthening, telling me that the downwards move is gaining strength, the fact that these candles look like this tells me that we might probably see a few green candles like this, and we are seeing it. And trying to trade this is not something I would recommend. So for now, let's just sit back and wait for price to find some direction, and then we can look for trades again. While we're waiting, guys, if you have any questions about these strategies, about any questions regarding this video, leave a comment. I'll read the comments. I read the comments every day before I make a new video, and I read the last 2 days comments. So if you drop a comment with a question, I'll answer it, and in the next video, I'll answer it in the next video. I'll discuss it, and then but I won't be checking older videos. So please, if you're watching these videos, at the moment I took down all my old videos, and I'm starting a brand new series with that. We're doing some daily trading, and but as we progress, I'm not going to be reading comments of the old videos that much. I'm just going to be reading the last 2 days. every day I'm going to read the last 2 days comments, and I'll answer any questions and stuff that you might have. Also, if you find this useful, hit the subscribe button so you can get a notification whenever I post a new video. I'm going to be posting a video about an hour long every day around this time. It's going to be early UK session. Sometimes I have stuff to do other than trading, so sometimes my videos are a bit hour or two later, but it's usually, it's most of the time it'll be in the morning, and then I'll also post the occasional video in between. So yeah, questions in the comments, and hit the subscribe button so you guys can get notifications whenever I post something new. Okay, this might be actually a good trade. It was too quick. So why would this be a good time to buy? If I could get my buy in on that line there, we had a very good DI minus spike while price is clearly moving upwards, but we had a very good DI spike, and it also coincided on the moving average and the RSI middle line. The RSI was on the middle line for a bounce, so I would have lost this trade, but if I was quick enough, I would have taken it. I might still actually win it. It might still go up. But really important, if you get these big spikes and you miss taking them on the proper in the proper area, don't take them late. They will usually burn you. Most entries will usually burn you. We're actually forming some hidden divergence here as well on the stochastic. So if I was able to get in here, it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This candle would determine the win. So if you got in the low on the line there, it would have been a win, but chances to get in there is slim. So this would probably have been a losing trade. Ooh, it's getting really volatile now. Big, I don't want to say really, not really big upward movements, but it's enough to be classified as sideways movement. But not really trending, just ups and downs, ups and downs. I mean, this is 10 minutes. 10 minutes, 10 minutes. On the 1 minute, this will be like small candles trickling. Yeah, small candles, big red, big green, 2 reds, and 3 fairly biggish reds, and now we're back where we were. So this is not ideal movement. That's a big candle. Let's see if we get something. Okay, so again, I'm gonna we know that this area here has been quite strong, and we're gonna see if we get a valid entry on this point, but we're not gonna. Okay, so ADX is coming up really strong. I'm not gonna risk taking a buy on this level. So this is a really strong move. And although there has to be a correction at some point, I don't think this is going to be it. My ADX is just climbing and climbing and climbing. It's on 48 right now. So with the ADX, traditionally, if the ADX value is below 20, it's considered a ranging market. If it's above, if it's 20 to 40, it's considered an emerging trend, and if it's above 40, it's a strong trend, and if it's above 60, it's an extremely strong trend. The thing is, though, that's valid for your higher time frames on charts. On a 10-second chart, even a 1 minute, it's not, those values are higher. So I would say instead of 0 to 20 ranging, I would say 0 to 30 is ranging, and then 30 to 50 is emerging. and 50 to 70 maybe is a strong trend. The reason being is if you go to a 1 hour chart, for example, or a 4 hour chart, you won't often see the ADX hit 50. Although the DIs will hit it regularly, you won't often see the ADX hit 50. Sorry, and although it would go above 40, it also seldom happens. It only happens in really, really strong trends. So, but if you bring indicators down that was designed with daily charts in mind, when you time frame goes down extremely low, like on the 10 seconds, you have to compensate for those values. You can't say that I'm using the same values on a 10-second or ranges on a 10-second that I'm using on a daily chart. So you need to adapt for that, because as you can see here, my ADX is over 60 at the moment, and you're gonna have to go search for a while to find a 4 hour chart where the ADX was actually valued. Let's actually, because this movement like this we can't trade anyway. So let's see if we can get a you see, this is a problem though, because this actually affects the ADX. The fact that there's the weekend candles are flatlining. If you go to any normal chart though, you will see that, or any chart where the weekend is not represented in candles, because that's definitely affecting the value here. It's because they're red, and it's calculated into the ADX as a strengthening, but it's not. It is definitely not. I don't like trading when taking 1 minute trades when we've got big sudden candles like this. It's 10:30. I think we might have had data out now. No, we did not. Although the 10-year bond auctions, the pound auctions are pending. It's going to be released sometime during the morning, so that might have been it. Did the cable jump? Let's see what cable's doing. Oh, cable's moving right, so it's definitely not the bond auctions. Okay, but like I said, guys, if you're uncomfortable, if you don't like the market movement, you don't have to trade. When I just started trading, and I spoke to a guy, and he told me once that not trading is also part of trading. And it took me a while to understand what he meant. But we have to wait for ideal conditions for a strategy. It's that simple, and you will have times where you don't get entries. You will. Now I'm sitting through this because I'm busy making a video, but during normal trading for me, I would get up and do something else. If the market becomes untradable, I go do something else. Then that's it. Phone a friend and go have a coffee, come back in an hour. It happens a lot. It really happens a lot. And then occasionally I even get there's even days where I will come and I'll sit down at the just before the UK opens, and I'll start looking at the charts, and I'll wait for the UK open, let the market settle, start trading. And some days I'm just looking and nothing is making sense to me. The chart movement is wrong, if I can put it that way. My strategies are not firing, or they're not working. So then I just close for the day. Um, get some game time in, but you don't have to trade. The best thing you can do is, if the market is not in, if the market conditions are not good for your strategy, the best thing you can do is to not trade. Wait. So hands off the mouse. We're waiting. Because what we're getting at the moment is big move, range, big move, range. So this is not the ideal not ideal trading for me. I don't like this. The ranges are too big, or well, the duration of the range is too long. I don't like trading this. So like, if we were trending now strong, if we were in a strong trend downwards, this would have been a sell entry for me, because price came up to the moving average right when the RSI hit the middle line. But this is not ranging. This is not trending. It dropped and it's flatlining. My ADX is very, very low, which tells me there's no strength in either direction, because the two DIs are dancing around each other. So this is, my strategies do not allow me to trade in moves like this. Most of the time I won't get any entries. Now if I get if there's a smaller resting period, like let's say we've got okay, before this started ranging, this would have been actually a good trade, a good sell trade, because we had price coming down, come back, retest this resistance area that used to be support, but that we drew in way before the time. And at the same time, I got the middle line rejection, so that would have been a sell. But here, where we are now, definitely not. Definitely not. So I've got to wait. It's going to take a few minutes probably. I've got to wait for price to pick a direction and start doing something again. But it's still ranging. So because no 2 days are the same, some days you're going to get a lot of entries, some days you're not. Sometimes some of these videos might turn out to be a little, I don't want to say boring, but we're not gonna get a lot of trades some days. Some days will be really exciting. Some days we'll have quite a lot of trades, but it is what it is. We can't force the market. I can't. You can't make trades happen. Once you start forcing trades, you start losing trades. Big drop. Looks like it's finally picking a direction. We're almost on an hour. I'm gonna see and wait and see if we get a pushback here. If we do get a small correction, let's move this, because this is a decent area now. So this is a decent support area, and because it broke through, it became resistance. Let's see if we get a pushback. Where the RSI hits, we might get a sell trade. If it does happen, and if this doesn't happen and price just continues for now, that's going to be where we end the video. So we'll give it a few seconds, see what happens. The fact that price is stalling here tells me that by the time it reaches here, it might actually be close to this as well, to the moving average. It didn't quite reach. I suspect it's going to push more. It should come back to an area, it should hit an area somewhere between these two, the moving average and the horizontal line here. Should, not will, but might. There we go. So there's the sell trade. The RSI tapped the middle line. Price hit exactly where I wanted it to hit. And I know that this could be a rejection. I do actually also have hidden divergence setting up, which is a continuation, downwards continuation. So this is hidden bearish. So this is likely to drop a bit. So we probably going to win this trade, and this will, win or lose, this will be the last one though. We're eating an hour, and I find it difficult to really focus while I'm talking, explaining these trades. Okay, but it's a good trade. We won. We got rewarded for waiting for our strategy to tell us we're allowed to take a trade. And yeah, patience pays off. And that's it. Okay, guys, I'm done for the day. Not done for the day. Video is done for the day. I hope you guys learned something. Hope you find it of value. Again, remember, if you've got any questions, leave it in the comments. I'll try to get back. I will get back to them on the next videos. And have a great day. Trade safe. And thank you for watching. See you guys tomorrow.